Tragedy unfolds at Sunset Park after police say a driver hit a 4-year-old. The latest on the investigation that's underway.
Plus, I'm tracking some cooler conditions the next couple of days, followed by a warm-up, and how long we'll stay on the drier side. My full forecast still ahead.
And the teen gunned down at a Valley basketball court is being honored in a very special way with family and friends.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Demetria Ovalor. Right now, Metro Police are continuing their investigation into an accident that left a 4-year-old in critical condition. It happened at Sunset Park earlier today, and Brittany Edney is there now with the latest.
Well, Demetria, right now behind me, Metro investigators are using a flatbed tow truck to lift the SUV that hit the 4-year-old girl as they continue to take pictures and gather evidence underneath the vehicle. We're told that the accident happened right before 2 p.m. and that basically the young girl got out of her family's car, was with some other family members, and she was crossing the parking lot when she was hit, and that the driver of the black Acura SUV was looking for a parking spot, didn't see the little girl, and then hit her. The girl was taken to UMC Trauma, where we're told she is still in critical condition, and she's in the pediatrics ward there. We're also told that the victim's family got into some kind of altercation with the driver. Back here live, Metro also tells us that speed doesn't appear to be a factor in this accident, and since they do believe that this was again accidental, they say no charges are expected against the driver of the SUV at this time. Reporting live, Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Brittany. Well, roadways are back open in the Northwest following an intense barricade situation earlier today. We're told it started here, right along the 29,000 block of Rainbow near Cheyenne at the La Ventana apartment homes. Police tell us a woman's boyfriend threatened to harm her 10-month-old baby if she didn't come home. Metro says he was watching the infant while she was at work. Once she alerted police, he then threatened to harm the child even more. SWAT was able to save the baby, fortunately, and later arrested the man. A special honor for a 17-year-old gunned down last weekend at a Valley basketball court. His friends and family came together to remember the teen. 8 News Now's Mauricio Marin is live in the newsroom with how they chose to let his memory live on in a very special way. Mauricio?
Good evening. Tyrese Coleman Jr. was shot and killed last week at a West Side Valley basketball court after a fight broke out. Today, loved ones met up to walk in the teen's honor. As you can imagine, his family is still having a very difficult time dealing with their loss. The memorial walk today at the Pearson Center near Cary and MLK Boulevard was also a fundraiser to help pay for funeral expenses. Folks donated cash for every lap completed. It's also been a tremendous loss for Coleman's friends at Shadow Ridge High School. He played varsity football for the Mustangs. Friends and family described the teen, who was about to turn 18 next month, as a very kind guy.
Just positive, listen to sports, and always a good young man, always positive.
The community is always here to come and help out in any situation, and we want to keep that going and keep it positive.
Police say 3 suspects ran from the scene after the shooting at the West Side basketball court. The person who pulled the trigger may be a juvenile as well. However, a description of the shooter hasn't been released, but police urge anyone with information about this case to give them a call. And in case anyone who was interested in helping out but couldn't make it out today, the family has set up a GoFundMe to help pay for funeral expenses. We have a link on our website, LasVegasNow.com. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mauricio Marin, 8 News Now.
Thank you, Mauricio. Red Cross is now assisting 30 people following that massive fire we told you about in our 5 o'clock newscast. It happened at the Solaire Apartments in the 1700 block of Caron near Eastern. Firefighters say at least 7 apartments were damaged in the blaze. At one point, we're told crews had to be called from the building because the roof started to collapse. There are no reported injuries at this time. Crews did remove one dog, though, from an apartment who had suffered smoke inhalation. All right, now I'm enjoying these cooler temps, Katie, and I know some people are too, but I heard you talking about a warm-up.
A little bit of a warm-up, yes, Demetria. Yes, it is ahead here as we head towards the next couple of days. Boy, wanted to note, though, I was doing my forecast here a couple of hours ago, and I saw that fire that Demetria was just talking about. I actually saw some of the flames, very high flames, but also a lot of smoke out there, so we continue to track the latest on that story here this evening. You know, thankfully, the winds have not been a contributing factor. So far, they've been fairly calm. That does help things like house fires or apartment fires, whatever they might be, especially on evenings like tonight when you don't have those winds really picking up and fanning the flames. That's a good thing. We'll take it. Either way, mostly cloudy skies for us here this evening. Those temperatures right now at about 51 degrees. No gusts. Temperatures about 1 degree warmer than where we were at this time 24 hours ago. Tonight, looking at fairly calm conditions. We mentioned that, yes, there is some moisture out there, but generally a lot of this isn't reaching the ground surface. It's falling as virga, which means it's evaporating before it actually reaches the ground level here in southern Las Vegas. Southern Clark County, the best threat. But again, looking at a lot of this being pretty minor, just more moisture associated with this system here just to the southwest of us. For today, though, looking at drier conditions, mostly cloudy skies here this evening. Temperatures will drop, though. We're looking at an overnight low of about 40, pretty close to the 30s. We will talk, though, more about that warm-up Demetria mentioned coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Steve?
Thanks so much, Katie. Well, most of us, me, wished we did not have to pay so many bills, and thankfully, a new service promises to help cut them down. Michelle Mortensen is on your side to explain how you can save money and have someone else do all the hard work for you. Coming up on the Valley's News Leader.
This portion of 8 News Now is sponsored by Southern Nevada Toyota Dealers.
Maestros lead with confidence.
Things are happening.
World. Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Welcome back right now. Got bills? Well, of course you do. Everyone does. But there is a way to shrink them with little to no effort at all. Consumer advocate Michelle Mortensen lets us all in on the biggest money-saving secret of the year. It's called Shrinkabill.com.
Bills. No one likes them.
You know, I've never really liked paying bills.
Movies, TV shows, even songs lament about bills and how much we don't like them. But since we can't get out of paying them, how about we shrink them? This is Shrinkabill.com. They say if you upload your bills to their website, they'll shrink them.
So we save customers quite a bit of money. Typical average is somewhere between $300 and $900.
That's Jonathan Wolf. He's the coordinator of growth for the company.
So we try and lower their bill by as much as we possibly can. And on top of that, we throw in as many freebies as we possibly can.
He says Shrinkabill.com is so confident they can lower your bills that if they don't, they'll give you a gift card to a restaurant of your choice. So I decided to put Shrinkabill.com to the test. I had 5 coworkers submit some of their bills to see if Shrinkabill really could find them significant savings. Jake and Sarita turned in cable bills, and both got one-time credits. Jake got $20, Sarita $100. Nikki turned in 2 bills. They couldn't lower one, but cut her cable by $35 a month, saving her $410 overall. David sent in 2 bills, which they cut by more than $30 a month each, for a total of $865 in savings. But it was Patrick who really saw his bill shrink. They cut his cable bill by $36 a month and got him multiple discounts on his Verizon bill, saving him more than $700 there. So his total savings was $1,153. So it worked. And if you're wondering what the secret is, Jonathan says his entire staff is taught tricks of the trade to negotiate you a lower rate. They do what we can't, or what we don't have time to do.
Negotiation is tricky. And if it's not something that you do all the time, the results usually aren't that great.
Now, I bet I know what you're thinking. Is there a catch? Not that I could find, but it should be noted. They aren't doing this as an act of goodwill.
So we like to say that we share in the savings. You get to keep 67% of whatever we save and then share 33% with us. It's risk-free. There's no cost up front.
33% translated into $285 for David. But remember, he got $865 worth of savings. He didn't mind the fee and thought it was worth it. In fact, everyone did. Justin just hopes you'll give it a try too.
You have nothing to lose except saving money.
If you're curious about Shrinkabill's negotiating secret, you're not alone. I asked Jonathan how they did it, and he told me one of their tricks is keeping folks on the phone for a really long time. Retention agents have to meet quotas on calls, so if you keep them on the phone for a while, they may actually give you what you want. Another trick, Jonathan told me, never take them up on an offer, like throwing in a free premium channel. You need to stick to your guns to get the discount. And if you want to check out Shrinkabill for yourself, go to our website. I'll have a link for you there. I'm Michelle Mortensen.
Wow, good tips there, Michelle. I think I'm gonna have to try that too. Well, a lot of moving and eating going on in the Valley today. What drew hundreds to downtown Las Vegas? That's ahead on News Now at 6.
Back in the day in New Orleans, when the band finished at 3 a.m. and needed something to eat, there was always someplace serving up chicken and waffles.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
Moving, shaking, and a lot of eating in downtown Las Vegas for this Super Soul Saturday. Today, hundreds gathered to celebrate the 16th annual Taste and Sounds of Soul Festival. Not only did it include the best local R&B bands and singers, but man, look at that chicken. Attendees got the chance to taste more than 40 culturally diverse foods, and that's my thing right there, the big turkey leg.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
All of that. What was that, bacon-wrapped hot dog, too?
Oh, man, the lemonade. You know what they do downtown, too? Just all the time. They've got that fried Kool-Aid, too, and the fried Oreos. Yes.
Fried Kool-Aid? How do you fry Kool-Aid?
I don't know.
Jeez. We might have to have Michelle Mortensen do like a little investigating on that and see what that's like.
Fried Twinkies. We live in the best place, really, for that.
Yeah, yeah. Good food.
Exciting stuff.
Good weather. A little bit cool for our friends maybe that are in town here for the weekend. Looking nice. And we know a lot of people that are going to be out doing the scale, the strats here tomorrow. So it should be nice for that, especially if you're going to be like huffing and puffing up the stairs. You need to go outside, cool down just a little bit. This is for you. This forecast here the next couple of days. Staying in the 50s, Demetria, so you like that, but I am tracking just a little bit of warm up here as we head in towards the late part of this upcoming week ahead. I like this shot because we've had a lot of clouds here today, but you can see, I know it's on the darker side, you can see a little bit of a break in that cloud cover. If you look out towards the mountains, you see a little bit of a break between mountains and clouds. Generally, though, we have seen, the nice little airplane coming in to make Karen here this evening. We have seen quite a bit of cloud cover here this morning. That'll gradually cool down, kind of winding down with decreasing clouds as we head in towards early tomorrow. Looking mostly sunny tomorrow, but again, we do have to filter through some of these clouds that have been really a pesky trend for us here today. So far, though, looking at temperatures on the cooler side, we're in the low 50s right now for Las Vegas and for North Las Vegas. Henderson's in the upper 40s, and I want to note, temperatures are actually expected to be in the low 40s here this evening. Some of us could even drop into the upper 30s. So yes, probably on the scale of 1 to 10, a cooler night, looking at the lower end, so cooler conditions for us. For a change, after a couple of warmer days, we will ramp back up, though, here as we head in towards the late part of our work week. Right now, current conditions at about 51. Again, that's out at McCarran. The wind on the calmer side, which is why I wanted to show you that, because those winds, not too gusty out there. They'll turn a little bit breezy, though, here as we head in towards our day tomorrow and Monday. So the wind's picking back up a notch. I do want to note, though, I mean, about 12 degrees difference. I hate doing math live on television, but I think that's right. 53, what we hit today. 65, the normal temperature. That's where we should be and didn't get it. Probably won't see that at least for another couple of days with those temperatures expected to remain here in the upper 50s, at least through the early part of our work week. By late week, all bets are off. We do start to look at another warm up, but at least for now, channeling the cooler conditions, at least for the next couple of days. We've been watching the radar here because generally a drier weekend, and if you've been tracking our forecast here, it's kind of a nice change of pace. We've had wet weekends, a lot of Saturdays and Sundays that have been just really soggy here. This past weekend, the weekend before that, we've seen some good rainfall totals. Now, we're calling this a little bit of a break, and while there is a little bit of activity on the radar, most of this is virga, so evaporating before it actually reaches the ground level. So a nice break for now, especially with this ridge of high pressure that's going to start to build back into our area, promote drier conditions, but also a little bit of a warm up here as we head in towards the late part of our work week. For now, here's we get your weather headlines. Drier weekend, again, for a change. How about that for a nice little mix up from what we've been seeing so frequently lately. Temperatures staying mild. They'll climb, though, late week, and then Eventually, as we look at the week ahead, Sunday through the upcoming work week, temperatures remain on the cooler but warmer side late week, but also staying drier. Tonight, I've got us at about 40, so cooler for us, mostly cloudy skies, and then that extended forecast here. Look at this. There's that warm up, 61 here by Wednesday, 67, and then just like that, a return to the 70s. So if you don't like the heat, enjoy the next couple of days. If you're ready for that warm up, all eyes on Friday and Saturday. Dimitri,
I know, I'm not
don't
looking.
look at Friday and Saturday.
I like spring temps. I'm a spring
Yeah,
baby.
I know you are.
March is the month. All right. Well, anyway, dodge, duck, dip, dive. Those are the rules of dodgeball.
I feel like that's like, and dodge again. That's what they say. The
Exactly,
movie Dodgeball.
and dodge again. This was all happening today at a local dodgeball tournament.
That's right. The after-school All-Stars of Las Vegas hosted the event at the Bill and Little Henrik YMCA this morning. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Demetria.
Lily Heinrich.
Excuse me. Proceeds from that tournament help support free comprehensive programs for elementary and middle school students at 15 at-risk Clark County schools.
We keep children safe and successful in school and in life, but we do it in a way that's super fun. And so we said if we're going to be raising funds and having, an event to raise funds, it should be fun too. So this event is fun for adults.
Yeah, you can see that. 45 teams competed, including our very own 8 News Now team, calling themselves the Gladiators. Get it? Get it, Demetria? Even though the team didn't do as well as planned, our station played the very best. Our station played the very best. Who wrote that? Someone that played today?
They tried their best.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Brian Loftus, morning anchor. I heard he didn't do so good.
Really? Because he's got that height. I would think that he could, hurl a ball pretty
Let's
well.
just put it this way. He's a big target, okay? He's a big guy. So, yeah. I'm going to make fun of him tomorrow morning.
I have seen half of that team play softball on our team,
Yes.
our channel softball team, and they're all pretty good, so I'm actually surprised.
Sherry was like team captain, and she doesn't take that lightly. So.
Oh, I heard she was very animated, Demetria.
All right, switching gears now. Well, coming up in sports, statewide bragging rights are on the line at the Thomas and Mack Center. The Rebels started off hot, but it wasn't enough against mighty Reno. Highlights are next.
This portion of 8 News Now is sponsored by Lexus.
How easy is it to park the Prius with available intelligent parking assist?
Hurt in a wreck and need a check? I'm attorney Glenn Lerner.
877-1500. Well, good evening. For the past 60 years, it would have been basketball blasphemy to say UNLV was David and Nevada Reno was Goliath. But here we are. The team from up north is 23-6, and the Rebels are riding an 8-game losing streak. Like David, Coach Marvin Minzy's only chance at beating the Wolfpack is with a stone and a sling. There is no place like home. Coach Dave Rice is back in the building as a Reno assistant, trying to show up his ex. UNLV student, well, making the most of arts and crafts time. The Rebels struggle in a lot of areas, but not when it comes to JoJo Mooring's confidence. He's always ready to shoot, and he hits it there, but so is Reno's Marcus Marshall. 8 3-pointers and 28 points. The Wolfpack sees the Silver State on this play, a block by Cameron Oliver, and here they come. How about this bucket by Jordan Caroline? And Caroline was far more sour than sweet to UNLV. 31 points in victory. UNLV's best play, Chris Clyburn, rising and rocking the rim for the dunk. All 14 people in attendance were really roaring with excitement. Final moments of the half. DJ Finner out-hustles the Rebels and hits the shot at the buzzer for the half. And, well, the game was over at the half. But how about the 1987 Final Four team for UNLV? They were honored. Special moment, but they don't have any eligibility left. UNLV loses 94-58. It is the eve of the Great American Race. The Daytona 500 gets underway tomorrow afternoon, and when the green flag drops, a 21-year-old phenom will lead the pack. Dan Lucas joins us live from Daytona, where Chase Elliott faces a big test. Dan?
John, good evening from Daytona. Chase Elliott has been a star this week in Daytona. Fans in Vegas are going to get to check him out in a couple of weeks, but he has a lot to live up to with just the name Elliott. But he is used to this big stage, and it's just a matter of time before he gets that first Monster Energy Series win. Like his legendary racing father, Bill Elliott, Chase Elliott humbly pursues victory. Last Sunday, he
work at it and try to find that next step, because it's not just going to come on its own.
And John, we had a crash-filled Xfinity race here today at Daytona. Chase Elliott was the series champion for the Xfinity in 2014. He was a teenager tomorrow he gets ready to try and win the biggest race of his life. John, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And coming up, just a little bit of a tease, we'll have state basketball highlights coming up tonight at 11.
See, now that's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
there we go.
Can't wait for that. Well, that's it for us. See you at 11.
Tax refund delays got you down? No worry, because Toro